Hello and welcome to your new moon forecast. This will be for the new moon we are having on June 28th, and it will be at 9:52 p.m. Central Standard Time. This new moon will be in the sign of Cancer. And there are 5 things we need to know about today, and then stay tuned to the end because we're going to be doing a pick a card reading for your moon message during this moon cycle. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is we've been in this 3-part activation that started early this month. And this is the final 3rd part. This is the activation we've been waiting for. We had sacral chakra activations going on, and they've been building and building and building. Now we're still in the sacral chakra a little bit. Sorry guys, I've got my orange on today to support the sacral chakra, but we're about to be blasted off into the solar plexus where we can step forth into our power. It's not that we're going to have a solar plexus activation, it's the sacral chakra that's activating us so much, and it's going to come into a healthy, balanced state that allows us to step forth into our power, which is in the 3rd density, which is in the 3rd chakra in the solar plexus, right? And they're all kind of entangled. It's all just this big quantum beautiful mess of spiritual knowledge and spiritual power and stepping into our soul's energy, and it's all intermingled, okay? But so if you guys missed the other videos, I'll try to put them in the description of the video. I might link them up here as well, but I'll link them so you guys can go back and watch the part 1 activation, the part 2 activation. Now, this 3rd part activation is a little bit different. I will say there will be a few of you that will feel a major, huge blast off right around this new moon. But for the majority of us, me included, I feel it's a very slow and steady activation. Okay, and it's going to be slow and steady until July 27th. And so it's actually going to go this whole moon cycle. So starting on the new moon on the 28th and ending on the dark moon on July 27th. So the whole cycle, it's going to be slowly activating us. And so we may not feel it as this huge bam, oh my God, I quantum jumped and everything changed, but you will when you get to the other side of it. So that actually leads into the second thing I want to talk about. Interesting enough, here on the new moon, we are also going into Neptune retrograde, okay? So on June 28th as well, we are going into Neptune retrograde. And on the next new moon, which happens to be July 28th, we are going into Jupiter retrograde. Literally 1 month apart, June 28th and July 28th, Neptune retrograde, Jupiter retrograde. So very interesting that we end this expansion on the dark moon, the 27th of July, and then as soon as that new moon starts on July 28th, another planet goes into retrograde. Now we still have Pluto and Saturn in retrograde, and they've been working with us for some time. They're going to kind of take a sit back, and we're still going to feel them. But the main energy I want to talk about right now. So Neptune and Jupiter both relate with Pisces energies. Pisces is very ethereal and dreamy and head in the clouds, and it's a very beautiful energy, right? And so here's the thing, now you have to be careful, because when planets go retrograde, sometimes the shadow side comes up, because we all have that beautiful light energy, but we all have the shadow. So does a Pisces, so does a planet, right? And so the shadow energy of Neptune can be a little bit maybe delusional, because I'm not seeing things very in that grounded perspective. Like Pisces are very upper chakra, and they're always up in their head, and so they may not be so grounded in reality. And so if I'm just daydreaming about hopes and wishes and all this stuff and living in the future and dreaming of what could be, I may not be planted my 2 feet on the ground here in reality. And so that might happen a little bit during this Neptune retrograde. But I feel the Neptune, here's the thing, as much as there's the retrograde energy that brings up the shadow, we all still have the light. And so Neptune and Jupiter working together, because it's literally, there's something about the 2 cycles. Literally, they're both starting on the new moon. With the 3rd part activation, I've been channeling this message and coming with the angels. And this is what I came into, this is the message I was getting from the angels, that they're both working together for our highest and best, right? And the Neptune wants us to dream bigger. It wants us to dream and achieve things higher that we can. Start manifesting from those higher dimensions. Stop manifesting from that 3rd dimension and start manifesting from that 4th and 5th dimension. Sorry, my cat's over here. He's stuck. But yeah, so I think it's calling us to like dig deeper and dream bigger and get in touch with the feminine side, get in touch with the ethereal side, get in touch with the astral side of us, get in touch with the spiritual side of us. I feel like the Neptune actually wants us to do some real deep, serious work during Neptune retrograde. And what's going to happen because we do that is Jupiter's going to reward us, because Jupiter is the planet of expansion. But again, remember, every planet has a shadow, right? And so as we're going through this slow, steady build, you may feel, oh my God, it's not happening. I planned on maybe launching this business venture or growing something or whatever we're looking to grow and expand. We're like, it's not happening. Why is it working against me? I thought I could do this and I just failed, or I'm not good at it, or whatever's going on. And Jupiter retrograde might be having us slow down a little bit. Our dreams might need a practical plan. And so here's the thing, but when there's so much beauty with the Jupiter, and it is going to allow us to expand and grow so much, but it might be that slower build. I do feel, like I said, the Jupiter and Neptune are going to work together for huge achievement, huge growth, spiritual possibilities, developing all of this. Again, the creative expression with the sacral chakra activations is all intertangled, guys. It's all intertangled. And that actually leads us into our third message, which is, okay, lack before luck. Now, what does that mean? Like I was just talking about, some of us may feel that we're almost ready to give up and our dreams aren't working out, and why isn't it happening? And all the energy I was just kind of just talking about, well, that's part of the plan. It's this slow, steady rise. What's that saying? Like slow and steady wins the race, right? Because here's the thing. Pluto went retrograde, then Saturn. Then we have Neptune, and then Jupiter. I mean, Mercury's in there a little bit too. Mercury's always going retrograde every couple months, but these planets with this big message I've been channeling about the sacral chakra activations, it's all part of the plan. We got tested a little bit with Saturn. Pluto wants to bring that death, sex, transformation, that rebirth energy, rising us to new levels in our spiritual awakening. Saturn is teaching us structures and rules and discipline and consistency and all that stuff. And so even when we're feeling tested, and even when we're feeling short on time or impatient or whatever Saturn might be teaching us, right? There's a lot of karma with Saturn. Here's the thing. Oh, my cat's trying to chew my cord. Hi, you have to come down. He can come say hi real quick, but you can say hi. Okay. I take him everywhere with me, guys, so he's here. And so all of this is part of the thing, the lack before luck. And especially since we're that slow building climb, I'm telling you, for a lot of you, you might have been right there at the finish line, right there of achievement, and felt like you got knocked down a peg or two. When is my time? Why didn't it work out? This is part of the process. This third activation is going to go very, very slow. And it's going to be with us almost a full month, right? That full moon cycle. But then Jupiter is going to come in to allow us to grow. But again, we have to face the shadow a little bit. As we talked about, the lack is going to come before the luck. Jupiter brings luck, right? It's that abundance vibration. And so Jupiter will allow us to grow, but sometimes we have to like go through a little bit of that lack first. And what it's showing us is when that lack shows up, not to give up, to be resilient. Can I push through? It's okay that I might get knocked down a peg or two, but I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to pick back up again today, tomorrow, whenever it is, and I'm not going to give up. So that lack before luck is just part of the process. So if you're feeling, oh my God, I'm not good enough, this isn't working, I'm ready to give up, whatever it is, that lack energy, hold on, this is part of the activation. Saturn's also teaching us some lessons here, okay? Lack before luck, because the luck is coming, and Jupiter will start bringing it in huge in July, but it will still carry with us for some time after. And we'll keep talking about as we go in to more energy updates, right? So the fourth thing I want to talk about today is there are a few chakras that are actually being activated at this time, right? We're always a little bit sensitive with one chakra during each moon. And since the moon is in Cancer, did I talk about that? Oh, guys, I don't know if I said that. The new moon is in Cancer, right? A water sign. So our emotions might be really heavy at this time. And so the heart chakra is definitely affected. You might be really emotional. I'm not saying like don't cry over spilled milk. You might be crying over spilled milk. Even your emotions might turn into a little bit of anger or just anything that's a little bit out of the ordinary. All of the emotions have been bottled up or starting to come out because they want to be released. So here's what I want to say. There's actually 3 chakras. I normally only touch on one, but I want to touch on the heart chakra as the middle, because the heart chakra is definitely being affected during this moon cycle. But I also channeled the root and the crown. And it's very interesting because in the 7 main chakras, the crown is at top and the root is at the bottom and the heart is right in the middle. The heart governs the upper 3 and the lower 3. So I was like, wow, that's very interesting that the first, the top, and the middle came in, but I think it's all connected. And I think it's really important, which it's very important. And I'm going to kind of listen, all the messages are entangled together because the 5th and final thing, and I'm going to touch back on these chakras in 1 second, but I think this is why it's so important, because the 5th and final thing is it's so important to connect with nature right now because it's going to help keep us grounded. Because here's the thing, as I talked about all 3 chakras, if I'm just working on my crown and connecting to the collective consciousness, but I'm not grounded, it's not going to do me any good. So that's why I think the crown and the root came together in this moon cycle, because it's like, okay, you know, I need to make sure I'm grounded before I start channeling from the upper world, the upper ethers, all of that stuff. And same vice versa. If I'm just grounded and I'm here in the 3D, I might be missing that spiritual side. It's the two that come together. It's the physical and the metaphysical. So we need both planes here. Both sides of us here, both aspects of us, the physical and the metaphysical. So that's why I think the root and the crown came together, because again, I want you to work with both energies. I want you to work with the physical and the metaphysical. So let's focus on the root, do some grounding stuff. And again, crown chakra, be open to the messages that the universe is bringing you. And I'm sorry, the 4th and 5th, they're just tangled together. It's all, isn't it the whole universe is one big quantum entanglement though? It's one big beautiful mess. I love it, I love it, I love it. So we're just reading 4 and 5 together, because here's the thing, and in the middle is that heart, right? And as much as we talked about that governing us with the Cancer energy, I think it governs it can give us, the root chakra is like our will to live, and it gets us out of depressions and funks and all that. So we follow our heart, and it is our guiding light. And the same thing, we're connecting to the upper worlds, right? Our heart chakra, following that 5D unconditional love vibration, it connects us to everything. And so even bringing that into the 5th message about how important it is to be in nature right now, because being in nature will help ground you, which is what we need, right? For the root chakra, the grounding energies. But at the same time, the more time you spend out in nature, it can open you up to the natural world, open you up to vibrations out of the 3rd density. And so all of that is like upper chakra energy. So being in nature not only will open your heart center, not only ground you, but it will connect you to higher vibrations. So even being in nature is going to affect all 3 of those chakras. It's all one big entanglement, right? And so if you want to know what colors to work with or crystals to work with, for the root, we've got reds. For the heart, we've got greens. And the crown, you know, some people say purple and some people say white. Whatever you're feel to. I've always done the crown as white because the 3rd eye is that indigo, and it's almost that, and it does relate with purple too. But you know, lately I've been, because with like Kundalini yoga, the white is the aura. If you want to do purple, just make it a very light lilac or a violet. Amethyst is a good crystal for that. Green Adventuring is a good crystal from the heart chakra. You could do some carnelian or some red agate for the root. Any red or even black stones. Black is really good for grounding. I'm like, what do I have on? Oh, I've got a shungite anklet. This is good. I've actually got 3 anklets here. I've got some, I'll show them to you guys. Hematite. This is really good for grounding. And I got, well, that's not really, I've got terahertz. It's a little bit higher of a vibrational, but this actually really grounded me. So just anything black. I mean, black obsidian, anything tourmaline can work as well. Heart chakra, what do we say? Green Adventuring, ruby. You could do zoisite. Any green crystals will work. And like I said, amethyst, clear quartz, any purple or like even clear stones will work for the crown chakra. So you could work with all of that as well. And yeah, it's just, it's, like I said, it's one beautiful, beautiful quantum, I don't even like saying mess because it's so like entangled everywhere. You guys just don't see it. But it's not a mess because it's all beautifully designed. It's a beautiful design. So yeah, I shouldn't say mess. Okay. All right, guys, that is our new moon messages. And now it's time for the pick a card. And in today's pick a card, we're going to do things a little bit different. So instead of just having you guys decide between a number 1, 2, and 3, I actually got 3 moon decks out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the decks, and you're going to pick which deck you feel drawn to, and that deck will signify your reading, okay? So for the first one, this is the deck I'm going to show you guys. So this will signify, all right, can't even see with the sun. This will signify card 1. So this is deck number 1, right? So if you feel drawn to this will be deck 1. This will have your message in it. And if you feel drawn to this deck, this will be deck number 2, your message will be in here if you're drawn to this deck. And the third deck is, I actually kind of like that you guys get to choose decks because it's like different messages, right? So this is the third deck. So if you're drawn to this deck, then your card will be in this, your message will be in this deck, okay? So if you guys need a moment to decide which deck you feel drawn to, you can pause it here. I will have the timestamps in the description of the video so you can jump straight ahead so you don't have to watch them all. You can if you want, but your strongest message will be in whichever deck you felt most drawn to. So let's jump right in. So if you chose this deck, deck 1, here's your message. So this message will be for the whole moon cycle. So this is from June 28th to July 27th, new moon to dark moon, okay guys? All right, deck 1, here is your moon message. Let's see what we got. And you know what? I love that I'm filming out here by water, and it's the new moon in Cancer, because like I said, the Cancer is water energy, right? And we're out by the water, so it's beautiful. Okay, ooh, and we had a new moon card, communication is key. Okay, so if you feel a little bit of challenge with this, that you're not communicating your needs, or maybe your needs aren't being communicated correctly. Here's the thing, you might be communicating to someone how you communicate, but how they communicate, they may not be hearing what you say. And it could be vice versa, okay? And so we might need to make sure that the way we're speaking our words, that it's actually getting through to people. There was one time, oh God, you know what? So I was in Arizona once, and for me, okay, let me make sure I have this right, because I know what she said. I don't know why, it just came to mind, so it's a really good example. Okay, so if somebody says, what did I say to her? And it was like so triggersome. For me, if someone's like, hi, how are you? It's so like general, and it's just something that somebody says is like pleasantries, like, hi, how are you? That I'm just like, you don't really care. So don't ask me how I am, because it's just something you just say to everybody. And oh, I think what I was saying is like, are you okay? So I was in Arizona. We were actually in Sedona, and I was with one of my friends out there. And I think I was just asking her like, are you okay? Because to me, I'm not going to say, how are you? Because to me, I'm like, that's what everybody says. Like, there's no meaning behind it. And so I kept saying, are you okay? Are you okay? Because I thought it was coming from my heart center. And I thought I was like literally checking in on her. Like, if she's not okay, she'll tell me like what's going on. And she was getting so triggered, and she was getting so triggered. And she's like, I don't like when you say that, da, 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 you know? And she told me her story behind it, and that was triggersome to her. And I was like, wow, that's so fascinating, because if someone were to check on me and how I'm doing in my emotional state or something, if they were to say, are you okay? I would open up and I would respond. But if someone says, how are you? I'm just like, whatever, like, you don't care. And she's like, oh no, you're better off saying like, how are you? And how we all communicate and how we all hear words are different, right? And so I thought the right word to say was, are you okay? And that didn't work for her. But again, somebody saying, how are you to me? I'm just like, whatever, like, it's just something you're just saying. Do you really care? So what we're saying, and I was saying it in my pure heart, I could see she was upset, and I wanted to connect with her. And she just wasn't ready. It was the wrong word. And so make sure when you're communicating with somebody that it's coming in a way that they understand it. Because you might have pure intentions, but they might be hearing it differently, okay? That is card 1. Okay. All right, if you chose deck 2, I don't know why it just got me so excited. If you chose deck 2, then this is your moon message for this moon cycle. New moon starting June 28th and all the way to the dark moon, July 27th. Okay, hold on, that one just blew up. Okay. Okay, so we've got trust, and we've got the egg moon. Okay, let's talk about this, because it does say the egg moon on it. And so sometimes we keep ourselves surrounded and protected in our comfort zone because it's safe here. Out there, I don't know the answer. Out there, I have to trust others. Maybe I have to trust the universe. Maybe I have to trust myself, right? And so maybe whatever experience happened in the past with a partner or a friend or a parent, whatever, we all go through experiences, and it knocks us down with our trust a little bit, like, oh, well, I don't really trust men anymore. Or, you know, all my friends have done this, and I have a hard issue with trust. But again, oh my God, you know what? Look at this. Literally, she's in her, sorry, I know I'm filming outside. I hope this is picking up. She's in a freaking egg. I didn't even notice that. Maybe if I move it over here. Sorry, guys. I hope that's showing up. It's like hard to see the camera sometimes. There's a little bit of a glare. Oh my God, but look how much she's missing out on life, because she thought it was protecting her. And maybe it did for some time, but but it's keeping you sheltered. It's keeping you cut off from connection. It's keeping you cut out from communication. It's keeping you cut off from new people, new places, new things. And so that bubble that we put up, that coping mechanism that we put up for protection, right? It's only shielding people off. I've got everybody at arm's length. I did it because of an experience that it hurt me, but it's time to take down that bubble or the egg, because it's time to trust in ourselves, it's time to trust in the universe, and it's time to trust into others. So I think it's time to break through the egg, push out through the egg, and step forth into the reality again. Good. It's good to get out of our comfort zone. That's where true growth really happens. So I think it's time to break free of the egg and trust again, because you deserve it. You. Forget about anything else and anyone else. You deserve it. So let's break free and start to believe again, and start to trust again, and start to love again, okay? All right, so that was for deck 2. And if you chose deck number 3, here's your moon message. Your moon message from the new moon on June 28th to the dark moon on July 27th. Oh, on the ground. Let me grab that. Okay. I love it. It says, leave the past behind. And there's so much green here. But why? I keep hearing, but why, but why, but why? And so I don't know if something from the past has got you saying, but why did this happen? I don't understand. If I had answers, if I had clarity, if I had closure, if I knew, I could move on. But why, but why, but why? I just keep hearing, but why? And that might be something you were playing over your head because you're looking for answers. But here's the thing, like the past, I mean, we can't go back and change it, right? The past is gone. I can't even go back, we've been on this video 21 minutes. I can't even go back 21 minutes ago. It already happened. It's gone. All I can do is move on from it. I can learn from experiences. I can grow from experiences. I can choose to live in my head, right? And live in the past, and live in resentments, and live in anger, and live in fear, and live in couldas, and shouldas, and wouldas. But what is that really doing for me? It's affecting my present energy. And actually, it's even affecting your future energy. Because if you're always in your head, worried about the past, reliving conversations, coulda, shoulda, wouldas, regrets, resentments, all of that stuff, all we're doing is bringing that into our present reality, and it's portraying it, it's reflecting it out into the future as well. It's time to leave the past behind. I don't care what anybody said. I don't care what anybody did. I don't care if you even like it. Just accept that it happened. You don't even have to make peace with it. Just accept it and move on. But do it for you, right? Because you are missing out on right now. You're the one that's being affected by playing everything over in your head. What is that saying? Like, don't rent space out in your head for free, right? They're just taking up space for free. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they're just renting space in your head, and they're doing it for free. They probably don't even care, and you're the one reliving everything. It's costing you maybe even some health, whether it's mental health or physical health or emotional health, right? Why are you letting them affect you still? It's time to leave the past behind, but do it for you, so you can now live in the present moment. You can enjoy your present life. I don't want you to miss out on anything. Because if you're missing out on the present, then tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you're going to look back to this present moment and feel you missed out on something. Why did you miss out on it? Because you were so worried about the past. You're so worried about the past that all you're doing is projecting the future, that you're going to keep missing out on stuff. So you're going to keep looking back with more regrets because you missed out on something. So leave the past behind now, today, so you don't have to look forward in the future going, God, I missed out again. And you're still always living in the past, because then a year from now, you're still going to be in the past. All we have is this present moment. And this present moment helps dictate what happens in our future. So if all we're doing is living in the past, it's preventing our future happiness. So live in present moment for you, so your future can thrive. All right, guys. That wraps up our moon messages, and so thank you guys so much for watching. And if you got anything on this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button this way. I know you got something that resonated. If you guys haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There's a bell too. I want you to hit the bell and turn on all notifications, because I do daily videos, and I don't want you to miss out on any upcoming messages. That next message just might be the message that you need to hear today. All right, my love. See you next moon. Till then, be blessed.